He's too dangerous to be left alive.
Hey everyone, Thornton Smash and Ragnar here today, and we're going to be talking about buffs and nerfs in the future of Apex Legends, especially because we are done with the ALGS for year 2, looking forward to year 3, and we have a collection event update, so we are expecting some other changes. We're also going to give out 45 bucks. All you gotta do is like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill, but without further ado, let's talk about Apex. Okay, before we jump into the nerfs and buffs that we are going to be looking at that Respawn's been talking about, let's go over something that was kind of interesting yesterday, and that's the fact that C9 PvPX actually brought up a really cool system. You would have your casual play for group trios, non-group trios, then competitive for ranked and ALGS balancing, in arcade mode with team deathmatch control in 3v3 arenas, which I really think needs to happen, and private lobbies, of course, as we've all been waiting for. And normally you see suggestions like this all the time, but a Respawn developer actually decided to chime in. And Josh Medina said, "What do you mean by no group trios?" And basically, if you were in a team with anyone, you wouldn't be able to queue in this. It's only for basically solo players, even if you are put on a team. And Medina said, "Well, this does seem to make up for the lack of solo queue, just thinking out loud here, but it seems reasonable to discuss." So once again, it pretty much confirms that we're never going to get a true solo mode in Apex Legends, but I don't think that it's the worst idea for them to take a look at this, to at least make it a little bit more balanced for people who don't want to go up against 3 stacks all the time. But moving on, we're going to be talking about some buffs and nerfs, especially in regards to the collection event, which is dropping in a little less than a week now. And since season 14 is about halfway through, we can take a look at how the pick rates have remained. With Vantage, we see what we always do. She's actually dropped out of the top 5. This always happens when we get a new legend. They're a shiny toy, everyone likes playing them, and then they fall off. The biggest interesting one that I actually found was that Gibraltar went absolutely pummeling in the pick rates. Now in the top 5, we actually have Horizon, who's been talked about for a long time. She's not actually that overly powerful, but a lot of people have been requesting a nerf. I actually don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, just based off the fact that there does seem to be a lot of hints, and even the voice actress for Horizon themselves having an opinion on Horizon having an heirloom in season 15. If that does end up being the case, there's no way they are possibly going to nerf a legend right before they get their heirloom. Another one that players have been asking for ever since His Watson absolutely went ham at ALGS was for Seer to get nerfed, but I don't think the devs are going to be touching him anytime soon, because it was a very recent issue where people started using him so aggressively. Not only that, but according to other recent rumors, that because we are getting the new moon map in season 15, that some people seem to think that Seer will be getting his heirloom in season 16, and once again, you're not going to nerf right before EA tries to sell us all a bunch of heirlooms. But speaking of heirlooms, we do know that we are looking to get Loba's next week, and sometimes they do buff legends before we get their heirloom. However, I don't think that's going to be the case for Loba. As John Larson as recently as May said, I don't think Loba needs any changes to her ultimate. Her ability to get her squad looted up throughout the match directly, I'm stoked when there's a Loba on my team. So all you Loba mains out there, just be happy you're getting an heirloom. Unfortunately, I would not expect a rework for her, at least not quite yet. That being said, we can be looking forward to changes, because John Larson, right around that same time period, did say that they were looking for a way to actually mess around with the meta just a little bit, such as how we saw so much Valk and Gibby with Bloodhound, Crypto, and Seer and ALGS, but he didn't want to do any changes prior to season 14 because they didn't want to rock the boat too much for the ALGS championship with teams practicing a specific meta, which took place in July, but now we're in the free and clear. And one legend that he actually directly commented on is that they are aware of the frustration surrounding Revenant, and he even directly references that his pick rate is low AF, and that they're very motivated to do his thematic design justice with rewarding gameplay, because he does get some of the best skins in the game, and duh, they want to sell those skins, but unfortunately he's just not that great of a legend. Another legend that probably deserves another look, as J Miles brought up, is the fact that Lifeline really needs a rework with the buffs that were given in Newcastle this season. He actually got a response from another Respawn dev, Tyler, who asked, "What do you think she needs?" Which seems to imply that they actually haven't decided on any buffs to give her. The last one we actually saw was for her town takeover in season 13, where they increased a lot of her healing abilities, but the problem is that her res just isn't anywhere near as good as Newcastle's. What I think ends up happening in this situation, instead of just buffing older legends continually like we saw with Lifeline, the new legend classes that have been leaked that are coming out that are going to give new legends more passives and kind of overall rework them much better. These are some concepts right here, but basically make a runner slash mobile class that would fit for Pathfinder, Valkyrie, Horizon, and Octane, and then leave recons such as Seer, Crypto, and Bloodhound in their own that can scan and track, and with their new classes rework their abilities rather than just endlessly buff them. Is probably the way that we see it, because like we saw with Lifeline, they buffed it so that she has infinite heals, yet she still has a lot of people complaining that she's just not very viable right now. Let me and Ragnar know down below, what kind of changes would you guys like to see for season 14 of Apex Legends in terms of buffs and nerfs in the near future. And until next time, Legends, keep slaying in the Outlands, and we'll see you out there.